Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this, know that I appreciate you. I am Coach Jay, also known as Juaitan Robinson, and I am a spiritual life purpose and women's empowerment partner. And what that means in simple terms is that I am a life coach with a focus on women, their pain, their purpose, and their power. But I come on here today to talk to you about something just a little bit different. It is now November, and I want to talk to you about something that many people don't even realize happens around this time of year, but it happens quite often. Seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is seasonal depression? Well, I'd like to try to explain it to you. According to the Mayo Clinic, seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is a type of depression that's related to the changes in seasons. It begins and ends around the same time every year. And although it is possible for it to occur during spring and summer, it is most likely to happen to people during the fall and winter months. So it saps your energy and makes you feel moody. Now, the general signs of symptoms of SAD may include feeling depressed most of the day, nearly every day, losing interest in activities you once enjoyed, having low energy, not really feeling like doing much of anything, having problems with sleeping. Insomnia is huge around this time. Experiencing changes in your appetite or weight, most likely increased appetite and increasing in your weight, feeling sluggish or agitated out of nowhere, having difficulty concentrating. It's a little bit more than you've got multiple things on your mind. It could be just that one thing, but you're having a hard time focusing on even that one thing. Feeling hopeless, worthless, or guilty, especially about things that you have absolutely no control over. Having frequent thoughts of death or suicide. Now, I've got some additional information just a little bit later about that specifically. Now, there are more specific symptoms for winter onset seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, sometimes called winter depression as well. And they may include oversleeping, appetite changes, as I mentioned before, especially craving foods high in carbohydrates, weight gain, as I mentioned before, and tiredness or low energy. Those things are more specific to the winter version of seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder, or winter depression. And that's why I'm talking about it now, because we are at the beginning of November. We're about to roll into the holidays, and this time of year, there are higher rates of depression and even suicide just because of the season itself, just because it is around a Thanksgiving and the Christmas and the New Year time. So that's why this was so important for me to talk about, especially for those who have suffered losses. So let's go a little bit deeper, just a little bit deeper. Just a little bit deeper. Some may say, well, I go through this every year because of the holiday eating. Yeah, so I gain a little weight. I get together with family and I'm running all over the place trying to, buy food and presents, and all of this stuff happens every year, right? But the difference is that if you notice it before the major holidays hit, before the turkey dinners and the multiple slices of cake and pie, if you notice it before the after Thanksgiving shopping and wrapping of presents. So if you notice that you're in these mindsets, if you're oversleeping, if your appetite changes and you're having more of the fatty foods and foods high in carbohydrates, if you notice that you are gaining so much weight and you're always tired or have low energy, you notice these things before Thanksgiving. If you notice them before Thanksgiving and they don't seem to be letting up, that could be seasonal depression, winter blues, seasonal affective disorder. You also may feel this depression more this time of year because, as I said, you've suffered some kind of major loss during the earlier part of the year, especially now that we are in this pandemic and we're dealing with COVID-19 and all of the losses that we've suffered because of it. Yeah, you may feel it a little bit more. So that's even more reason to pay attention to it. You may have lost a job, you may have lost a pet or a family member or close friend. Tune into your feelings, pay attention to them. And if they're heavier than they usually are, then seek help. Please seek help. Self-care is really important during this time of year. Self-care is really important during any time of year, but especially now. You need to pay more attention to how you care for self. And there are also some things that you can do as a part of self-care on your own to minimize the symptoms of seasonal depression, seasonal affective disorder, the winter blues. And there are just a few things. Relaxation techniques such as yoga or Tai Chi, meditation, guided imagery, music or art therapy, music, art, or light therapy, quite honestly, socializing a little bit more. And again, I know that that's difficult during this time of the pandemic and COVID-19, and we're so restricted about being able to get together with one another in crowds. But even if it is through technology, say Skype or Zoom or something like that, even FaceTiming or Google dialing, video calls and things like that nature. Socialize a little bit more. And here's another thing, and I know again it's difficult because of the times that we're in with the pandemic and COVID-19, but take a trip, even if it is simply a day trip. Even if it's simply a day trip and you're not driving more than 30 minutes to an hour away, and do it during the daytime, especially on a sunny day, because the sunlight is your friend. It will lift your spirits. The sun has so many benefits to it, as far as boosting your energy and boosting your immune system. So the sun is your friend, especially in the winter months when it tends to be a little bit gloomy. It gets darker earlier in the day. Take a trip, even if it's just a day trip. Take it during a sunny part of the day, on an especially sunny day, because the sun is your friend during this time. And then you can also create and then stick with a well-balanced diet. So relaxation techniques such as yoga or Tai Chi, meditation, guided imagery, music or art, and even light therapy. Socializing more, take a trip, exercise, create and stick with a well-balanced diet. These are things that you can do on your own. Now, if the feelings do not ease up as much as you would like for them to, then please talk to your primary care physician by all means, and be honest about everything that you are feeling, both physically and mentally. Your PCP will likely give you a referral to a professional that specializes in depression and recognizes or acknowledges SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Please be aware that medications may be prescribed, and please continue to take them as directed by your doctor while still incorporating the techniques that I mentioned earlier, like the exercise and the socializing and the music or light or art therapy, things of that nature. So incorporate the medication with the things that I mentioned, and the feelings of the heavy, overpowering feelings of depression should lift. At least that is my hope, that it will lift. Please keep in mind that I am not a licensed physician, therapist, or any kind of medical professional. Not at all am I licensed. However, I am a trained and certified CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner. And some of the techniques that I utilize with my coaching clients may help you in conjunction with whatever your medical professional suggests. And then lastly, I've included in this presentation, the number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and just in case you have feelings of suicide or overpowering feelings of death. But then also, if you are local to my area, the DFW area, I have included that number as well. And as always, peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.